Thank you for joining us for our last session before the fun event later. I know you might be low energy, but we're going to bring up the stakes a little bit. Can you tell me, did anyone catch the match on Sunday, England and Senegal? Anybody? All right, a few people. All right, do you remember 38 minutes in when Henderson scored the first goal against Senegal? Okay, remember that feeling of like that goal and maybe like giving your buddy a high five, like, yeah, we did it. Now imagine you can take that feeling, and if you could sprinkle a little bit of that excitement onto your service experience. All right, that's a bit of a stretch, but imagine if every time your employees opened a ticket inside your company to ask for help, that it was such a memorable, maybe not memorable, maybe a good positive experience that they wanted to give their buddy a high five, like, yeah, I got the help I wanted. And that was not painful. Yeah, that was awesome. So our goal today is to help you do that, to share some examples, some stories, and a few tips for how you can sprinkle some of that excitement into your own service experience inside your company. My name is Andrew Homeyer. I'm joined by Joe Shaw. We're both from Atlassian. We run a product team focused on building intelligent conversational support experiences for service teams. With us today is Erin Collins from Valiantys, where she heads up their ITSM practice. So our mission today is to help you bring that VIP experience to your help seekers. As a reminder, this session is for informational purposes only. Don't hold us too accountable, but we'll do our best to meet your expectations. So we have 3 topics today. We're going to help you give your service desk a makeover to make a better first impression. We'll then help you give your help seekers a choose your own adventure type experience where you can meet them where they already are. And then last, we're going to help you create a feedback loop so that you can continuously improve your service experience. All right, I want your help. If you can scan this QR code and give me one word that describes the last positive service experience that you had. It might ask for your name. There's a little hidden skip button. Feel free to click skip and just give us one word. Hey, Joe, what was the last positive experience you had?
Simply awesome.
Joe, that was those 2 words, my buddy.
Yeah, one word. Awesome.
One word.
Yep,
Only one word works in the app.
All right. How about you, Erin?
Exceptional.
Okay.
It was exceptional.
That might be hard to spell. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We have a few takers. Thank you so much. Wow, a lot of takers.
All right.
Okay,
Ooh,
fast.
To the point. I like how they did that.
Fast. Okay. We care a lot about fast.
Yeah. Personal.
Personal.
Amazing.
Self-serve. Yeah, we like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All
let's
right.
let's hold on to these words, and I want you to think about your experience, like your service desk inside your company. Mm-hmm. Do these words also describe that, or do you have a little bit of room for improvement? And we'll look at these again after our session and see if there's a few tips and tricks that you can take home and see if these words will reflect that experience after you adopt them. I'll hand it over to Erin.
Oh, the magic clicker. I have control. So remember that feeling of that first goal of England. Yes! Did you imagine what it would feel like if your employees felt like that when they engaged your service desk? Sometimes we forget to ask some key questions. Is it easy to find? Is it easy to use? How does it look? Does it make a good first impression? Andrew, Joe, and I are going to share some of the great capabilities available to boost the first impression of your service desk so you can harness that great feeling. So yes, first impressions matter. Oh, I know. Don't judge a book by its cover. But when it comes to your service desk, it really doesn't hurt to have a beautiful cover. So here's your service desk. It's not horrible, but it's not amazing. Are you highlighting areas of interest and topics that matter to your employees? Jira Service Management does come with out-of-the-box options to customize the look and feel of your service desks, as we've done here. We think we can jazz it up. Let's start with topics. Have you read about this? You heard about it in the keynotes this morning. So remember when you were younger and you had that bin of Lego and you would flip that bin over, and bricks would tumble across the floor, scattering everywhere. And it was so satisfying when you built a car or a house. The same is true of topics. Topics engage your employees by bringing information forward from multiple places. It's like using all of the colors of the brick rainbow to build a single structure. This makes it easier to build key information and help your employees find resources and request forms they need faster. For Cloud Premium and Enterprise customers, you can find it in your Jira Service Management product configuration settings under Edit Layout, and it's the section called Customize Your Help Center. It's a link. You can create up to 15 topics in your Help Center, and each topic you create will have a unique URL and a separate page of its own for easy sharing. For example, you could build a topic called Employee Resources to bring together all the HR support resources that employees might need in one place. To add this topic, you could add a knowledge base article, which features essential employee hub and policy information, or request forms like personnel change or HR questions, making it easy for employees who come to your help center to get all the information and help they need under one topic without having to keep track of which team's portal to go to. What an experience. So, time has passed, you've built a little neighborhood of topics with your bricks. But what if you want to build the Tower of London? Ha! There's an app for that. I want you to think about Refined for Jira. It's a marketplace app, and when I was in your shoes managing my Jira Service Management instance, I wish I had used this. Refined refers to their app as a site builder, providing the tools to build custom-designed Jira Service Management service desk sites without needing to code. You can build multiple branded sites populated with Jira Service Management, of course, but also Jira and Confluence content, issues, request types, quick links, knowledge articles, extended search. The list really goes on. Refined allows you to create any number of these sites with the same, similar, or entirely different looks and feels for each. A customer in the Americas has a site for each of their business service teams. Each site uses established brand identity, but used in subtly different designs to reflect their service focus. For example, their HR intranet uses pink, black, and gray key brand elements. Therefore, the refined service desk design uses pink, black, and gray. They've included information about the most requested items and even blog posts about new and changed services they deliver. These act as visual clues and cues, which are consistent with their existing intranet spaces, to let their employees know that they are in the right place. I think you'll find now setting up refined lists is painless. You'll find setting up refined is quite painless. There's no code involved, and the configuration is very intuitive. But before getting started, give a little thought to how you want to design your employee experience by organizing and relating the sites. Then, create your hierarchy in the configuration tool. Edit your project site pages from a selection of card types and content, and you're good to go. So I hope your wheels are starting to turn, and you're starting to think, gosh, maybe I should revisit the look and feel of my service desk. And as you can tell, I'd love to go on and on about this, but Andrew wants to tell you about another cool new way to leave a lasting first impression with your service desk. And he's already got the magic clicker.
I like your colors, Erin. I might go for some green and red just for the holiday season, though.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So I was talking to Erin earlier, and she started in the ITSM space 25 years ago, and we were talking about how things have changed since then. So 25 years ago, you literally had to pick up a telephone and call your support center, or like walk over and tap on someone's shoulder and say, "Hey, buddy, my laptop broke." Well, they didn't have laptops then. But since then, like things have changed a lot, right? So 20 years ago, we introduced email. That totally changed our entire industry. And then 10 years ago, we introduced these help portals and these help centers. And these are here to stay. This is a great place for your employees to know where to go, to search for help, and to open tickets. But things have changed again. The last 5 years, we've seen the market shift, and there's a new way that employees are communicating. Like, when was the last time that you sent an email to your coworker? I don't remember the last time I did. I sent a Slack message. So we've seen these chat systems be adopted left and right. Looking at the data, 80% of the Fortune 100 use Slack. Microsoft reports that 27 million users use Teams every month. 270 million. Wow, that is incredible. How many of you use Slack or Microsoft Teams in your company? All right, that is almost everybody. I'm not going to point out the one person who didn't raise their hand. So we'll share some numbers around this. But first, when was the last time someone asked you for help inside Slack? Yeah, so I got a DM, I think, this morning when I woke up, and I was like, "Hey, like, can you help me do this thing?" And I had to tell them, like, "Hey, can you go to this help center and open a ticket following this link?" And that's not really a great experience. What if instead of telling someone to go somewhere else to ask for help, that you could just react with a ticket emoji or use a message action inside Slack, and that would become a ticket? So earlier today during the keynote, we talked about chat for Jira Service Management. And using chat, you're actually able to do this today. So from Slack or from Microsoft Teams, every message can turn into a Jira ticket. And it's not just one way. It's not like you react as in Jira, then your users have to go to Jira and manage it. They can actually stay inside Slack. So once that message is turned into a ticket, it becomes a thread. And every message on that thread is synced over to Jira. So this is great for your agents too. So your agents are notified inside Slack, inside something called a triage channel, that, hey, someone is asking for help. Your whole team can jump in, someone can grab it, and you can respond from Slack or from Teams. They can also triage that work through Jira Service Management, through their normal triage portal inside that web interface. So this is amazing for both the requester, where they don't have to change their behavior. They can actually stay where they're already working. So we call this going to the help seeker, as opposed to asking the help seeker to come to your help portal. This has really changed a lot of businesses. So since we've launched this feature, we've processed over 100 million messages across 10 million requests, I think. This is magical. So this has become the way that a lot of companies, thousands of companies, have totally transformed the way that they do service requests for their employees. They live inside Slack, so let's bring service to them as opposed to asking them to go find it somewhere else. But let me tell you a story of one of our Fortune 100 customers. They're in the technology space. They have 250 agents. They have 260,000 employees, so this is a rather large company. Every month, they do 30,000 requests through chat, so they do this at scale. When they first adopted chat, their old system, it took them 14 hours on average to respond to a customer request. That's not horrible. I mean, that's an answer like within a day, but people, yeah, they're sort of still waiting around. This reduced down to 30 minutes. That's 28 times an improvement. It's not just chat though. I think it's the way that people like change their expectations. Like when you send an email, you're saying, "Hi there, Joe, something, 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 sincerely, Andrew." Like it takes a lot of time. It's more formal. We don't really expect to reply quickly, so we sort of let it sit and we build processes around that delay. But chat is a little bit different. Like if I DM Joe and say, "Hey, Joe," Joe's like, "Oh, hey, buddy." And then I'm like, "Hey, I need a new keyboard." He's like, "Okay, sure." And it's sort of done. Like it was very quick because it's conversational, and we sort of expect these informal experiences. So it's this paradigm shift where by adopting chat, people expect different things, and your agents are actually able to respond faster because it takes less time, because it's more personal. And we all work at the same company, right? So it's meant to be that way. It's meant to be like I'm actually just walking over and tapping someone on the shoulder and asking for help, but there's still a process around it, so we can make this super efficient too. If you are interested in trying chat, we have now, as of today, made it available for every edition of Jira Service Management. So it's a little tricky to find. So from your service project, go down to channels, and you can click on chat and get started from there. It's super simple. You can test it in one of your Slack or Teams channels. in just 15 minutes. I'll bet you can create your first ticket. So it's worth giving it a try. This just launched on JSM Free. So if you are new to Jira Service Management, you can give it a spin without even starting a trial. It's a pretty great experience. I will say, too, that this is great for small teams and big teams. I just told a story of like a really large company, but we see really small teams or like maybe non-IT teams. So for business teams, maybe your people ops team, maybe smaller volume, this is a really pleasant experience. They're probably actually already managing work through Slack. They probably have a channel called like People Help. And they just have their agents or their HR staff in that channel answering questions. So this is a really lightweight way to add just a little bit of process and help them be a little more effective and start to measure how their service levels are actually doing. So there is a bit of a challenge that comes with adopting chat. We have found that your ticket volume actually goes up because people find it so easy to ask for help. They actually ask for help more often. This is not a bad thing, but it does introduce new opportunities for how can we make your agents more effective and more efficient by introducing a few other things. So I'll leave that as a teaser and pass it to Joe to tell the next story.
All right, thanks, buddy. So after you make sure that you got a very good first impression, so what's coming next for the customer journey, right? Once you take care of the where of getting help, it's time to focus on the how. I bet you know better than anyone else on your team that a large portion of the incoming tickets you and your team are dealing with every day tend to be those common, repetitive tier 1 issues, which you and your team end up so busy handling those common issues and left with little to none time focusing on those higher value tasks. In fact, based on a recent Forrester research, more than 30% of employees tend to prefer some self-serve mechanism, especially for those common repetitive issues. At the same time, there's only 47% of employees reporting that they're getting the adequate support they needed, especially in this new remote environment. Ooh, that's a challenge for service teams as your employee expectations are growing rapidly. So if we put those numbers into a visual way, and here is a simple chart showing the ticket volume distribution based on its complexity. So on your left-hand side, for those tier 1 common issues, you can see your employee want those self-serve experience, but your agents are so busy with the high ticket volume. At the same time, for those tier 2 more complex issues, your employees want better service. It does require way much more support efforts, but your team simply don't have the bandwidth to offer that. So giving the self-serve option to your employees not only make their life easier, especially for those who want quicker resolutions by themselves, it saves a tons of time for your team, helping scale up the service with a 24/7 coverage. And now, with all the time you saved, you can finally get them back to your agent's team. They got the time free to focus on those higher volume tickets and really keep up with expectations from your employees. I think we can all agree that copy-pasting is not the best use of anyone's time. That's why JSM offers a number of self-serve options to really empower you and your team to deliver this human touch experience at scale. So earlier, we mentioned about topics and relevant capabilities to group relevant tickets, articles, resources in one place. That usually involves knowledge-based articles powered by Jira Service Management, native KB feature, which Erin will share more about.
Thanks, Joe. I want to sit on this slide for a second and let you absorb this number. 240 hours per year. 240 hours per year is the amount of time a knowledge worker, or as Paul said in an earlier presentation in the last block, a learner worker spends searching for information. We've talked so much in IT about shift left, shift left, shift left. But what that number doesn't reflect is that those hours are actually resulting in found information. 240 hours per year. That's, if you've done the math, that's about 30 person days. So accessibility to the right information is so important that a major ITSM framework defined an entire practice for it: knowledge management. Topics, which we talked about earlier, should always include the relevant knowledge base articles. Because why? Knowledge is power, and you have the capability to provide that power. Giving help seekers the power to solve their own requests quickly puts productivity back in everyone's wallets. That is not just a power, that is a superpower. You can be a superhero. I don't know if you can see that very well, it's not that big. But a good knowledge base is powered by customer feedback and machine learning. Great knowledge base also encourages you to create new articles when a request contains useful information. Jira Service Management allows you to create help articles without agents leaving their project. This is the native knowledge management, knowledge-based content. Just look in the left-hand navigation menu and then click the Create Article. You can label and categorize your articles for a better experience for your help seekers. Titles, labels, content, categories, these are all searchable. And this is what really creates that power so that people can find the information that they are spending hopefully less than 240 hours looking for. If you use Confluence, you can also link one or more Confluence spaces to a service project. Presenting information that solves requests is one form of self-service that you can begin using immediately and shorten the time that help seekers spend on search. Joe's going to tell you about another new self-service capability. We are so excited about this. And I don't want to give away the farm, but you probably heard about this in one of the keynotes this morning.
Yep. That's right, Erin. And you heard about it during the keynote. We've kind of thinking it for a long time, and we've kind of been there before. Chatbot based on keywords and rigid rules simply do not work. Your employees end up with running around, still having the problem. Your agent end up with the same workload as before because it's not working. So that's why we're investing a new way of approaching this. We're deeply integrating the AI-powered virtual agent technology by Percept AI, acquired earlier this year, directly into Jira Service Management to offer the intelligent service at scale for your team. So what's the backstage story here? Well, behind the curtain, we're using the state-of-the-art machine learning technology that learns from all the data they're finding the pattern that can actually understand what's happening for a support team. What are the questions flying in? How does your team respond to those questions? Are those helpful at all? We're training a tailored and customized AI model for each one of our customers that even learns your office lingo. And with that in place, whenever a question from the help seeker coming in, the virtual agent can precisely identify the intent of it, and then from there triggers a back and forth conversational flow to really resolve the issue for your help seeker. And with that, it unlocks a new intelligent service workflow here. So after the virtual agent identifies the intent, it helps your employees solve their issues way quicker with automation, leading to a better experience. It provides assistance with your human team, making agents' life easier, and it also surfaces key insights to your team leads and stakeholders. So I'll just use a quick example from the keynote today. For example, I'm struggling to connect from home. Can you help? The virtual agent understands precisely what's your intent, what's your problem, and from there try to solve the problem with a step-by-step guided troubleshooting flow. So from user perspective, I got the answer I'm looking for my specific problem, which means it's instant gratification for employees and instant relief for your agents, knowing that there's one less ticket to worry about. And for more involved issues, the natural language processing technology we've developed proprietary at Percept AI has the ability to identify intent, but also infer sentiment and extract those structured contextual information from conversations, all before seamlessly transitioning to the right human expert with an intelligent routing for an easy layup. It resolves cases faster and reduces friction for your team and your employees. So let's think about all those common questions fly in: VPN failure, software licenses. Imagine if you could offload all those common repetitive questions to AI, working smarter, not harder, and really get those valuable time back. And we've been using virtual agent internally at Atlassian in the past couple months, saving over 1,000 hours with over 50% assistant rate. This is amazing and game changer for us. And in addition to the amazing outcome, virtual agent and assist and JSM chat provide the same customer satisfaction capability. So you can visualize the resulting data using the customer satisfaction onboard report inside JSM. The power of AI actually don't stop here. So after your team is free from those mundane copy-pasting work and getting those valuable time back, the virtual agent can help you understand what are the improvement opportunity to further evolve your service processes and resources. What are the major gaps for your IT operations? Which HR responses are becoming stale, need a refresh? Well, thanks to the power of intent recognition, the virtual agent can give you the CSAT, response effectiveness at a finer granularity, all without you having to spend countless hours to review those thousands of tickets. And now, equipped with all those insights, we also make it that simple for anyone on your team to jump in and improve the experience. We understand that you want full control of your virtual agent behavior and support experience, but at the same time, you probably don't want to spend countless hours to configure the system. While we hear you, no more trade-offs, we help you achieve both. Whether it is a new intent you want the AI system to learn from, updating the conversational flow, or changing a different action to be triggered, all those can be done with a few simple button clicks, and your virtual agent will be retrained, up to date, ready to go. So with that, we're super excited to announce that we're opening up a private early access program for our virtual agent targeting early next year. So please pick up your phone using the short link here or scan the QR code and sign up for the virtual agent early access waitlist. We cannot wait to work with your team to deliver this exceptional intelligence service at scale for your company and see what are the amazing things we could achieve together. All right. In addition to introducing virtual agent, there are other ways to automate your common support questions and cases. This is Multiplier, available in Atlassian Marketplace. It connects with your identity provider like Okta and can automate provision software request whenever it's a user access request coming in. So when people are asking for Figma or Tableau, those questions, well, your human agent doesn't need to worry about those, and Multiplier can handle that for you. So we've shared a little bit more about the intelligent virtual agent and how do we run a fantastic VIP self-serve experience. And now hand over to Andrew to share more about how do we close the feedback loop to make it even better for your company.
Thanks, Joe. I am so excited about that virtual agent early access program. It is going to change the way that we all do work. I think our agents are going to be so much more excited to work on those hard problems as opposed to those very repetitive challenges that we deal with every day. So once we start introducing these things, how do we know that they're actually working? You've probably heard of Atlassian Analytics. It's built on top of our data platform, our data lake. So this is really powerful because it takes data from all of our products. So we launched this at Team last year with Jira software data. This summer, we added Jira Service Management data, and as well as Opsgenie data. And in the future, we'll be adding other products to this as well. What's also powerful is you can connect your own data sources. So if you use Google BigQuery or Redshift or Snowflake, those data sources are supported. We can ingest those into our data lake, and you can run queries against all those things to draw correlations, not just against our data that's across different projects, but against your data as well. So what can we actually do with this? Let's say that you're introducing like a new VPN client. The last version was slow. You had feedback that people weren't able to connect, or there were different challenges in different geographies. So you start doing a software project to implement that, and then you release it. And you can correlate that work in Jira software against your requests rate that is tracked in Jira Service Management. Maybe when you're launching it, there's a few issues with people getting installed, but over time you see those types of requests going down. So that's what you can do with our analytics platform. It's pretty powerful to be able to correlate across different data sets. So what's also great about this is you don't have to have a degree in data science to make this work. This was built on top of our Chart.io integration or acquisition that we acquired about a year ago. So you can just use button clicks to drag different fields. We've also made our data a little easier to consume. So if you think about a product and like how you store data, it's made to run the product. It's not made to necessarily query for building reports. But as we translate that data into our data lake, we are very intentional with how we store it. So you can actually build those reports and they make a little bit more sense. So if you do happen to be a SQL wizard, we are built on top of Databricks. So if you've used that platform to query data before, it will feel very familiar for you to build your own dashboards and reports and go a level deeper than what you can do with just our graphical interface to build without any code. This is one of the dashboards that you get out of the box. There are several. This is for Jira Service Management. So to get here, if from your project picker in the top left of any of your Atlassian projects, go down to Analytics. This is available for JSM enterprise customers currently today. This is one of the dashboards. So you can see your CSAT across all of your different service projects. You can also see your resolution rate. So this is just a nice dashboard out of the box where you don't have to do any customization, and this can be used as inspiration for different types of things that you can do as well. So to review, we spent some time today thinking about how you can make your end users, your help seekers inside your company be VIPs. So how can you give your service desk a makeover? Maybe by introducing topics or by bringing service into chat and bringing service to them. We've also talked about how you can give your help seekers a way to choose their own adventure, maybe by introducing knowledge-based articles and starting to automate that experience using our virtual agent. And last, how do you create that feedback loop so that you can continuously improve your experience using data-driven decisions? Wow, we added a lot more words from earlier today. So hopefully some things that we talked about today can make your service experience faster, more amazing, more smooth, quicker, seamless. These are all great. I think we all agree these are what we should be striving for. Maybe not troubled. Not sure about that one, but everything else. Thank you for participating with this. And I'll leave it with another invitation for this QR code to sign up for a virtual agent waitlist. If you are using JSM Cloud, we would love to work with you and speed up your service experience. And we have 2 runners with mics. If you can please stand up with questions, we'd love to answer them. A question over here.
Oh.
Okay. So question about the use of Teams. So you've shown lots of Slack examples. I'm really keen to see what it looks like with Teams.
Yes, I would love to chat with you later, and we can look at that. Teams is very different from Slack. It's really cool how we actually developed that. It's not a port of Slack at all. It's very unique with the way Teams experiences are sort of meant to work. So we built that from the ground up. We use a lot of customer feedback from our Teams customers. Teams is actually like growing almost a little bit faster than Slack for our customer base. So it's been pretty cool to see that adoption. So Slack's just prettier. So I took more screenshots of that. But yeah, Teams is also amazing.
Okay, hi. My name is Tomasz. Greetings from Hungary. We have a special language in the region, and I'm interested if the virtual agent will help us, so non-English speakers.
That's a great question. Thanks for that. So right now for the early access program, our current language focus will be English only. But for international language, that's definitely on the roadmap. We're targeting to include non-English support post-GA, and also to cover different language and different service team use cases after that.
Question here is, the Slack bot that you're introducing here, is it only in channel or can it sit also in standalone, so that you don't need to go to actual channel to ask any kind of help? So it will automatically trigger to the right person or to the right Jira service export.
Yeah, for sure. There are several different ways that messages can turn into tickets. So if someone sends you a direct message, that works. There's a global action as well, so you don't have to be in any particular channel. You can then trigger that. Through Slack, there's also the app home experience. So if you've seen that for other apps, that's where you can actually view all of your open tickets. And from there, there's a create ticket action as well. So people can create tickets without having to be in a specific context, where they can choose the different service desk or form that they want to open a ticket for.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Diogo. Super excited for the assist. Yeah, I think my question is slightly similar to the previous gentleman, but is chat or is the assistant available in the custom portal as well, or will it only be available within Slack, Teams, or one of those integrations? Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll go. Currently, it is only available through Slack and Microsoft Teams. We would love to bring the machine learning from Virtual Agent to every help experience. Shikap earlier today talked about unified help. So I think that's part of our vision of we want, like, wherever you start on your service journey as a help seeker, we want you to be able to experience a virtual agent type experience. Doesn't always make sense, but that's the vision. Today, it's only in Slack and then Microsoft Teams.
If you have a question, stand up. It'll help them see you.
I think we have one in the middle over here.
Oh, there's a. Already
Here we go.
It might still be the same question, but I am used to companies where a lot of the employees, because they're using Jira software or Jira work management internally, they don't even create their tickets through the help portal anymore. They just use the big create button at the top. So how do these new types of functionalities related to ITSM integrate or work when you're basically not using a customer portal at all anymore? And what kind of other improvements can we see in that regard?
It's a great question. So I think, like, we want end users to be able to ask for help wherever they want to. I think we definitely want to encourage the help portal and then these new chat experiences using the create button from when you're inside the portal. I'd love to, like, learn a little bit more, I think, and figure out, like, if there's specific product improvements that we can recommend to those teams. But yeah, I mean, our goal is you can ask for help wherever you live, and you can find it. So super keen on learning more about what we can improve there.
Hi, Marco from the Netherlands. You've shown Refined, nice tool. But on the roadmap this morning, Atlassian said you can go next year, make a nice portal. Then we stop with Refined use, or how does Atlassian see that?
I'm not sure what, I apologize, I'm not sure what the question was quite.
Do we need Refined next year when Atlassian make their own availability of?
Yeah, I mean, today there is no ability to customize your portal within Jira Service Management. So I think today we're definitely recommending that Refined is a way to do that. It's sort of hard to talk about future product plans that we don't quite know the details about. So yeah, I would love to connect later, and we can definitely stay in touch as the product improves.
Hi, my name is Brendan from Ireland. Can you just explain a little bit to me what JSM Chat and Assist are in the context of this conversation?
Yeah, so Assist is the name of the Slack app that powers chat for JSM. It's just poorly named. They are the same thing. So when you adopt JSM Chat, you'll be prompted to install Assist by Atlassian, and that is the bot that lives within your Slack or your Teams workspaces or tenants to power that experience. Chat is the thing that you'll see on your settings page within Jira Service Management, because that makes more sense in that context.
Can I just add to that, though, that I'm going to prompt you a little bit, Andrew.
Thanks, Erin.
Because I think what JSM Chat brings actually is a little bit more of that AI and that machine learning to that assist experience and to that Slack experience. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Or am I totally wrong about that?
So we're building the virtual agent on top of JSM Chat, which is all powered by Assist. You install Assist from the Slack App Store, or you get it through the JSM Chat interface. Today, Assist can work independent of Jira Service Management. So for this context, we definitely are encouraging people to adopt it through Jira Service Management, especially for larger teams, and to get the virtual agent experience. So, Assist is the name of the Slack app that you'll find in your workspace.
Sorry for putting you on the spot there.
Hi, my name is Justin. I've got a question about this feature to tag content on the top of the portal. I was wondering if you can show them dynamically. So one example in the keynote was having new employees having certain pages. Can I make it so there's a rule behind this? So only show this for the first 10 days for new employees, but not for everybody?
I'm not sure. That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
Great use case.
I'd love to follow up on that. All right. Any other questions?
So you just on the
I
first
think
roll
so.
here.
Hello.
Right there.
Oh.
Okay.
So I already used Jira Refine for data center, and one of the things that you can do with Refine is put normal Kanban projects into your portal. So since you are recommending this, are you going to implement maybe a portal for software projects? Are they going to be more integrated? Because I feel that my development teams really miss a cute place for getting feedback while they still work with Kanban.
I mean, what's exciting is I don't think Refine is going to stop supporting that. So I think I would encourage you to continue to adopt Refine for that use case. I don't have details around what the product experience might be in the future when it comes to customizing the portal directly in JSM. I know we have one more at the front.
Oh, there's one back there.
I have two more questions. What about the backend? Let's say somebody creates a ticket by itself. Does the bot help to resolve it automatically if it can?
Currently, no. So both the virtual agent and the Slack and Teams apps, they are meant for the requester engagement. You can actually make it so that tickets created within JSM are then synced back to Slack or Teams. So if your team, like your agents, prefer to actually answer things within that chat experience, tickets are then synced that direction, and then it's still bi-directional. But the virtual agent is meant for that requester experience, and we don't have it turned on for just like an agent side experience today.
Yeah, I'd love to connect afterwards. As part of the She-Hub shared during the keynote today, that we're building this unified help experience moving forward, and part of that, the AI intent engine is at the core. So currently the main focus in channel will be Slack and Microsoft Teams, but definitely we're interested in learning more about your needs and use cases there, and to see if there's something we can support down the line.
So any more questions? Any more for any more?
That gentleman's still waiting for
That
Mike.
gentleman
Yeah,
still
first
is
row.
waving his hands.
One more in the front.
We have time.
Yeah.
There is a lot of discussion about cloud, privacy, security. Already some customers absolutely want to stick on data center because they are not convinced about cloud, especially with some elements of data, mostly everything that's plugin related or user access management still being centralized and not being part of the data residency options. With the new types of functionalities being a chatbot, virtual agency, chatting. What kind of privacy and security challenges do you potentially see? There are discussions about saying everything that's email, that's Slack or Teams messages is considered private, and a company should not be able to access that without authorization. Do you see any impacts here with there being something getting installed that's listening, that's collecting data in a system that not as actively controlled by the company itself because it's outside of its own infrastructure and the control?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll handle it as two parts. One is definitely we're working on the data residency. That includes the chat feature and also the virtual agent working on. So that's always a top priority for Atlassian. And for the virtual agent itself, our AI approach we're taking at GA, we're thinking to train a tailored AI model for each customer. And so that'll continue to be our approaching that. And at the same time, again, like the info security, privacy, those are continue to be the top priority for us as we're approaching GA next year.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for hanging with us for our last event of the day before the special session with Will.i.am, just a little bit. And I'll ask you to give us session feedback. But thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy your time.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.